What's up, Pisces? Peace and light, peace and love. I'm Shakesha Divine. I'm bringing you a divine oracle message for the month of February. I want to thank the Archangel Michael for giving me some protection from distractions and confusion. I get confused easily. And for Gabriel for giving me a clear and intuitive channel. I definitely need that as well. So let's see what message Spirit has for us. Right about now, we dealing with this Knight of Cups energy. When the Knight of Cups comes through, this is all about that whole Valentine's Day vibe, right? We talking romantic proposals. We talking about attraction. We talking about engagements. We talking about that whole eros romantic relationship energy. But we got some things that we got to talk about so that we can really navigate this successfully, Pisces, right? And that is Spirit wants us to do is really begin to come in with some true wisdom and begin riding the cosmic waves. This is all about us recognizing the things that need to happen. Recognizing these cosmic waves in life, there's going to be obstacles, there's going to be challenges, there's going to be ups, there's going to be downs. But when you hold space for yourself, you start to really realize that you a gangster too out here in these streets. See, the problem is the challenge that we face is that we don't believe that this is something that's available for us. We don't recognize that balance that goes in between relationships. Maybe we got some past hurts. Maybe we seen some poor examples of what relationships looks like. But when this sacred union card comes up as being one of the challenges, that challenge is really figuring out like how those relationships are supposed to work. Are they giving you enough energy or are they taking it away? Are you really having a fair and equal exchange in your relationships? Or are you giving too much of yourself in these relationships? Or are you giving too little of yourself? This is something that you're going to have to figure out. But Spirit is putting in my mind that there's a balance that needs to be re-examined here, so that we can really make sure that these relationships are working out. There's going to be in the highest and greatest good for both parties on there. That doesn't necessarily mean that this is a tit for tat relationship, because we know it definitely doesn't work like that in real life, right? But when we put our focus on making sure that the relationships, that the connections that we have are mutually beneficial, this is when you start to step into the realm of successful relationships. But you got to ride those cosmic waves and recognize the ups and the downs. And every time you get into a disagreement, it doesn't necessarily mean it has to turn into a shitstorm, this adversarial sword fight where we going to war and it's on and popping, or that means it is the absolute end of the relationship, because we already know that those are ups and downs on those relationships. But Spirit wants you to know that you ain't got to play that type of role in no relationships like that. This is a brand new cycle that we starting up in here after this moon comes through, right? And what you need to know is that you got to focus on those things that you want to see in your life, the things that bring you joy, abundance, having some fun up there in these streets, right? Instead of sitting around focusing on the minutia, worrying about things that don't really serve you at the end of the day, putting your energy in places that just really ain't going to help you to stay in your highest vibration, right? When you start focusing on the things that bring you joy, start finding things that you enjoy doing together, it's really going to help to make that relationship really stand out. And so when you go through those trying times, when you start getting those tests that comes through all relationships, because we know it happens, you will really be able to have that balance that's in your life, in that sacred union, where you recognize that this is a relationship that's giving me more energy instead of sapping it all away from me. And when you do that, this is when you get that higher knowing, when you get that high, that inspiration on how it's supposed to go. You start getting yourself into this mood where you are in relationships that's beneficial to you. You step into this higher knowing and you hold this expectation that your relationships are going to be good because you're in a good place. See, when you got this whole joyful activity vibration, you start having fun, you start enjoying yourself, you smiling and all of this other stuff, you feeling good about life, you begin to attract those type of cats that's really on that same frequency. And so that's when your love begins. But you have to make sure that that's what your expression is, because if your expression ain't, you're going to match. Your magnetism is going to attract that expression, and you want to make sure that you matching the expression that you absolutely desire. Your animal totem for the month of February is the skunk spirit. And the skunk spirit ain't coming through to let you know that nothing stinks. It's letting you know at the end of the day, don't forget to know what your worth is. This is all about you making sure that you hold a space to be true to who you are and recognizing the sovereignty within you, Pisces. And when this skunk comes through telling you to know your worth, this is all about you recognizing all of those things that you've achieved, all of your accomplishments, all of those things that you've done, all of the stuff that you bring to the table. You got to make sure you keep all of that in mind, because you definitely a prize and somebody to have that's good too, right? But I'm trying to think, you're a catch too. You heard? So even if you get yourself connected in a relationship, there's nobody too good or too bad. This is vibration, and you attract that which you are. So you make sure that you understand what your worth is so that you can attract the person that is the caliber, that is the same frequency that you intend to be on, that you are actually on. Let's talk about those relationships. We got the new love card. When spirit comes through with the new love card, this is letting you know that this is somebody that it may have stirred some romantic feelings, Pisces. So I guess you may have your eye on something, because this whole spread is all about these relationships, but they want you to do it a little differently this time, because maybe there might have been some situations where there was, just, you know how it goes. Sometimes just things don't work out, but you can't bring that charge of energy to the new relationship. And when this new love card comes up, this is saying that something is being stirred up. And this is a time for you to really know your worth, right? This is really a time for you to know your worth. And on the life purpose thing, because spirit really has that energy focused on your relationship, but on that life purpose thing, what's going to help you along your journey, that's going to get you in alignment for the work that you came here to do? Spirit is letting you know you got the freedom to do whatever in the hell you want to do. You got all the talents, you got all of the skills, and you got all of the know-how to do whatever it is you came to do. You got all the tools to win. The skunk coming through to make sure that you understand that you know your worth. This is a time for you to really start figuring out what needs to change. What are the processes that you need to go through in order to start making those things happen for you? But you got everything that you need in order to win. Please do not forget that, Pisces, because you got yourself some love connections coming in your way, or some serious connections is coming in your way. I'm so excited for you. Peace and light, peace and love, Pisces.